Hey folks, welcome to this episode of Fat Off the Bone. This is back-to-back episodes where I did the grilling of the vegetables. And so now I'm going to talk about my favorite way of grilling steaks. And what I found are some chuck eye steaks. I've never really paid attention to chuck eye steaks much, and then my partner Shane, who's unfortunately not with us here today, he turned me on to these chuck eye steaks, and you can't find them everywhere. Luckily, our supermarket here where we are in North Carolina, I'm able to find them. Not at every one, but the one that I regularly visit, I'm able to find the chuck eye steaks. Most people consider a cheap cut of meat. They've got some great marbling, and it is really a tasty cut of meat. Now, I'm going to use the egg. Just took the vegetables off. You see that in a earlier episode. But we're going to, I put some lump back in there so it's heating back up. But I'm also going to use my black cast iron pan in conjunction with the grill. And I'm gonna, now you could do this on if you have a Blackstone or another flat top. It's just as easy to do it. I like to do it in the skillet, and I'll show you why when we get ready to do the butter and garlic. So I get my steaks out here. These are nice, good, thick cuts of steak. We'll cook those about 2 to 3 minutes per side, and then I'm going to put into the cast iron, and we'll show you that whole process. Salt, pepper, garlic, or just salt and pepper is a good rub, not to get fancy. I'm going to use this Rufus Teague steak seasoning. I really like this. Again, this is something that Shane he bought for me and gave me. We like to buy each other different rubs when we find it to see which ones we like, and this I'm sure is full of salt, pepper, and garlic and some other spices. Don't know their secret, don't care to know, but we're gonna pat these down. And I set these steaks out about 15-20 minutes ago. Just take a little bit of the chill off of them, and make sure that I get these seasoned up well all around. When I cook, I try to keep a clean hand and a dirty hand. Of course, I'll wash my hands here in a moment, but that's one reason you see me only handling, and I'm letting this one dangle down here some way. But I'm going to be using some garlic, cloves, some butter, and some rosemary that I got out of. I have a very large herb garden. This is one of my herb garden towers, but I have some other herbs growing here around my cook area, so we're going to use that. So let me show you what we're going to do. So we have our temperature, our eggs up to temp. It's at 500 degrees. So what I want to do is I'm just going to take these steaks and just give them a quick sear on both sides for maybe about 2 minutes each side. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. Let's check on the progress of these steaks. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Just a quick brown on each side. Again, this isn't going to be the final cook by any means. I like my steaks medium rare, not raw. I'm going to cook those back. Okay. What I've done here is went ahead and put my cast iron pan on because I wanted it to get hot. And I've got these steaks again about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So what we're going to do on the pan is how we're going to finish these off. So I'm going to take some butter. You could use, I guess you could use olive oil or something, but folks, this isn't a diet show. I like to use butter when I cook steaks. I like to cook for the flavor. So we're going to go ahead and get some butter on there in the pan. And one of the things that I like, you can buy fresh garlic and cut the cloves up for sure, not a problem. I like to buy the cloves that are already in the bag. It's just an easy way to do it. Very convenient. And I only got a few more in here, so let's just go ahead and get all this garlic. And let's move this garlic around, make it happy. Just the sound of cooking in that cast iron, I like. Let's see if I can get a little. There you go. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take my steaks and I'm going to put right in the pan with that garlic and butter. Okay? And guess what? On top of that, you guessed it, more butter. You're thinking, good gracious, look at all that. Well, that's going to melt, and then we're going to use that to brush over our steaks and our pieces of rosemary that I picked out of my herb garden. Now, one thing is that is going to be extremely hot. So I'm going to get my big leather glove on. I buy these by the dozen, and you can see that butter is melting. And what I like to do is just ladle that butter over. Let's get it back down on that heat. Now you don't want to get your garlic burning. It'll take on a bitter note when it burns. And if you hear any squeaking in the background, that's Wally and Barney, my two rescue dogs. I name all my animals after Andy Griffith characters. So we've had Charlene and Floyd, and we're up to Wally and Barney now. We take in a lot of rescues here, and we just kind of look at them and see which character we think that they favor the most. And I can tell you, when they get rescued, as all my friends can tell you, they absolutely hit the jackpot. Let's see. Turn these over. Look at that. Folks, that's a beautiful thing. I'm going to shut this lid for just a few minutes and get situated, and we'll take one and cut it and show you the perfection inside. All right. So we're going to take that off and let it rest just a moment. You've heard 1,000 times, well maybe only 999, but if we only had smell-o-vision. Because this, absolutely, that garlic and butter and rosemary is absolutely not only making my mouth happy, making my nose happy. Look at that. That is perfect. That is a perfect medium to medium rare. And folks, that is another episode of Fat Off the Bone.